Welcome back to the Learning Summit podcast, where we explore the latest in workplace learning and development. I'm your host, Alex, and today we're tackling a challenge that many businesses face: how to keep employees engaged in training. Joining me to break it all down is Sean Gilligan, founder of Webanywhere. Sean, welcome back.
Thanks, Alex. Training is only effective if employees are actually engaged with it. If they're just clicking through modules without really learning, it's a waste of time and resources.
Let's start with the first big way to improve training engagement. What's the number one thing companies should do?
Make it interactive. People don't learn well when they're just passively watching or reading content. Training needs to involve them, whether that's through quizzes, simulations, or hands-on activities. For example, instead of just watching a cybersecurity training video, employees could go through a simulated phishing attack and learn by doing. It makes the learning process more engaging and far more memorable.
That makes total sense. When people are involved in the process, they actually retain the information rather than just skimming through it.
Exactly. Engagement comes from participation, not just observation.
What's another way to boost engagement?
Personalization. Not everyone learns the same way, and if training feels generic or irrelevant, employees won't engage with it. A great way to personalize learning is to recommend courses based on job roles, skill levels, or past training history. AI-powered learning platforms can suggest content that's actually useful to the individual, making training feel more valuable.
That's a great point. Nobody wants to sit through hours of training that doesn't apply to their job.
Right, if someone in marketing is getting a deep dive into software development, they'll tune out, but if the training is relevant to their role, they'll pay attention.
Another common challenge is that employees feel like they don't have time for training. How can companies work around that?
The key is flexibility. Employees need the ability to complete training at their own pace, on their own schedule. That's where mobile-friendly, on-demand learning comes in. If employees can access training on their phone during a commute or in short bursts, they're more likely to engage.
So instead of long scheduled sessions, training should fit into their workday naturally.
Exactly. Breaking content into bite-sized modules or micro-learning sessions makes it easier for employees to engage without feeling overwhelmed.
Gamification has been a big trend in learning. How does it help with engagement?
Gamification makes training more fun and rewarding. Adding points, leaderboards, badges, or completion rewards creates a sense of progress and achievement which keeps employees motivated. For example, if an employee earns a badge for completing a leadership course, they're more likely to continue learning. A little competition, like a leaderboard showing top learners, can also encourage participation.
That's a great idea. People naturally enjoy challenges and recognition, so gamification taps into that.
Absolutely. It turns training into something people want to do rather than something they have to do.
Last but not least, how can companies make training more meaningful?
The best way is to connect training to real-world applications. Employees should see exactly how the skills they're learning apply to their job. For example, after a sales training course, employees could apply what they've learned in a mock sales call. If training is immediately usable, employees will take it more seriously.
That's a key point. When training feels disconnected from daily tasks, it's easy to forget.
Right, and feedback is important too. Providing instant feedback on quizzes, assignments, or practical exercises helps reinforce learning and gives employees a sense of progress.
This has been a great conversation. Just to recap, the 5 ways to improve training engagement are: make it interactive, so employees learn by doing personalized training to make it relevant; make learning flexible, so it fits into their schedules; use gamification to boost motivation; connect training to real-world application, so employees see its value. For companies looking to improve training engagement, what's the first step they should take?
Start by gathering employee feedback. Find out what's working and what's not, then adjust training to make it more interactive, relevant, and accessible.
That's fantastic advice. Before we wrap up, where can listeners go to learn more about making employee training more effective?
They can visit webanywhere.com. We help businesses build engaging, effective learning experiences that actually make an impact.
Sean, thanks again for another insightful discussion.
Thanks, Alex. Always a pleasure.
Thanks for listening to the Learning Summit podcast. And until next time, keep learning and keep developing.